Hello students, you are welcome to economics online class. We are discussing the 6th chapter banking. In the last class, we discussed about the monetary policy, objectives of monetary policy and the specific objectives of monetary policy. Today in this video, we have to discuss about the recent advancement in banking sector. It may be RTG and NEFT, ATM, merger of bank, recent issues, money market, capital market, everything we have to discuss. Let me discuss about the recent advancement in banking sector. The first one is e-banking. Online banking, also known as internet banking. It is an electronic payment system that enables customer of a bank or other financial institution to conduct a range of financial transactions through the financial institution websites. The online banking system typically connect to or be part of the core banking system operated by a bank and is in contrast to branch banking, which was the traditional way customer access banking services. The traditionally customers accessed banking services through the e-bank. Okay, this is one kind of banking system which is electronic banking, which is in short e-banking. Okay, it enables the customer can easily transfer their money and withdraw their money, everything. Okay, transaction and contrast to branch banking system, everything for their financial support. They using the financial support e-banking. Today, virtual banks. Today, the virtual banks, which may be direct bank, have only an internet presence. Okay. So nowadays, this usually the customers going through the online, the e-banking only. So that virtual bank have only in internet presence, which enables them to lower cost than traditional brick and mortar bank. So that this is the famous and favorable one to the customer. Okay. Then next one is RTGs and NEFT, in short NEFT. So what is this? Interbank transfer enables electronic transfer of funds from the account of the remitter in one bank to the account of the beneficiary maintained with any other branches. Okay, there are two systems of interbank transfer. They are RTGS and NEFT. Both these systems are maintained by RBI, so that the interbank transfer, which may be enabled by the RBI, that's why the transfer of funds, transferring one bank to another bank and accounts of the remitter in one bank to the another account. So like that they giving assistance to the customers. This is maintained by RBI. And NEFT operates in half-hourly batches. Currently there are 23 settlements from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on all working days, including working Saturday. So therefore, the beneficiary can expect to get the credit for the transaction put through between 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on all working days, including working Saturdays on the same day. Okay, this is the NEFT functioning programs. Okay, what are the time? The settlement time is 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. including Saturday. Okay, for the transaction settled in the 6:30 and 7 p.m. batches on all working days, including working Saturdays, the credit will be afforded either on the same day or on the next working day. If it is the Saturday, means the next working day, Monday only, they can transfer their money. So this is the system of NEFT. See here, difference between the NEFT and RTG is given here, like difference between. Okay, what about NEFT? National Electronic Transfer Fund. RTGS means real time gross settlement. The NEFT means transaction happens in batches, hence slow. Okay, hourly basis only, off hourly basis only they are transferring money, so that the transaction happen in batches, hence slow. In RTGS, transaction happens in real time, whatever time now, that the time itself they can send to the another country's time, the same time, so that transaction happens in real time, hence fast. What about NEFT timing here given? 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. including Saturday. Okay, Saturday up to 12:30 p.m. only. Here RTGS timings are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday and all 1:30 p.m. up to 1:30 p.m. they will function. The NEFT, in NEFT no minimum limit, but in RTGS minimum amount for transaction is 2 lakh only. So this is the difference between NEFT and RTGS. The next one is ATM. We know that what is ATM? Automated teller machine. So ATM transformed the bank, the technology system. Okay, when they were first introduced in 1967. This may ask in your 1 mark. Okay, ATM was introduced first in 1967. The next revolution in ATMs is likely to involve contactless Paytm or payments, much like Apple Pay or Google Pay wallet, and soon we will be able to conduct contactless ATM transaction using a smartphone. Okay, nowadays through a smartphone only we are paying everything. Okay, so that ATM also old fashioned and outdated system now. Some ATMs innovations nowadays, some innovative ideas taken by the RBI in the ATM centers, isn't it? So that the some ATM innovations are already available overseas, the overseas countries. For example, biometric authentication is already used in India, and its recognition is in place at Qatar. So National Bank, the Qatar National Bank ATMs and are using the authentication ideas, the recognition. Okay, authentication and recognition placed in Qatar National Bank. And these technologies, the technologies can help overall bank security by protecting against ATM hacks. If any hackers hacking the system means, through this system the bank, the RBI may be protect the peoples. Okay, the ATM centers through the technologies. Next one is Paytm. What is Paytm? Nowadays every shops and hotels, malls, they are using Paytm for fast transaction. Okay, fast paying money. The payment bank, this is maybe payment bank. In August 2015, Paytm received a license from RBI to launch a payment bank. Okay, working as a payment bank, he got permission from RBI in August 2015. One more question. The Paytm payment bank is a separate entity in which founder Vijay Shekhar Sharma, the founder of the Paytm is Vijay Shekhar Sharma, will hold 51% share. 197 Communication holds 39% and 10% will be held by a subsidiary of 197 and Sharma. So 197 Communication is another one, and Vijay Shekhar Sharma also joined with 197 Communication, and they hold 51% share. Okay, what about 197 holding the percentage? 39. Okay, so that both are sharing together and using the Paytm. The next one is debit card and credit card. You know the debit card and credit card, everything you know, isn't it? So we are using now, at present we are using. A debit card is a card allowing the holder to transfer money electronically from their bank account when making a purchase. Whenever they are purchasing any goods and services, they can pay through the debit card. So this is debit card. What about credit card? A credit card is a payment card. This is also one of the payment card to issue user, the card holders, to enable the card holder to pay a merchant for goods and services based on the card holder promise to the card issuer to pay them for the amount so paid plus the other agreed charges. Okay. What are the recent issues using e-banking, ATM, Paytm, credit card, debit card? Once the borrower fails to make interest or principal payment for 90 days, so after 90 days, suppose they cannot pay interest or the principal amount for their loans, means the loan is considered to be a non-performing asset, NPA. So this is very problematic to the customer. So that NPAs are problematic for financial institutions since they depend on interest payment for income. So now the size of the NPA is estimated to be around 10 lakh crore. They receiving the interest and the penalty. How much? Around 10 lakh crore they are receiving from the customer. For what? After 90 days, suppose they are not paying their amount, which means interest. They are collecting this money, okay? As a penalty, they are collecting 10 lakh crore around. As a result, the bank do not have adequate capital. So that the bank do not have any adequate capital. Hence, the government of India is forced to infuse capital to the bank by using poor taxpayers' money. So already more than a sum of 2 lakh crores have been injected in this system. During 2018 to 19, the government of India has infused 68,000 crores into the banking system. So the NPAs ultimately affect the common people. So here the common people facing so many problems through the NPAs. What about merger of banks? Union Cabinet decided to merge all the remaining 5 associate banks of the State Bank Group with the State Bank of India in 2017. So united all the banks. How many banks? The 5 associated banks, State Bank of Group with the State Bank of India in 2017. After the Parliament passed the merger bill, the subsidiary banks have ceased to exist. So subsidiary banks and all seized by the government of India after the Parliament passed the merger bill. 5 associates and the Bharatiya Mahila Bank have become the part of State Bank of India beginning April 1, 2017. So the Mahila Bank, Bharatiya Mahila Bank also became a part of State Bank of India. When? April 1st, 2017. This has placed State Bank of India among the top 50 banks in the world. The 5 associate banks that were merged on State Bank of Bikaner and Jaipur, which is SBBJ, State Bank of Hyderabad, State Bank of Hyderabad, State Bank of Mysore, State Bank of Patiala and State Bank of Travancore. The other 2 associate banks, namely State Bank of Indore and State Bank of Saurashtra, had already been merged with State Bank of India. So that 5 leading banks were merged with the State Bank of India. After the merger, the total customer base of SBI increased to 37 crore with a branch network of around 24,000, around 60,000 ATMs across the country. So that the banks were merged by the RBI and gave all the branches network around 24,000 and around 60,000 ATMs across the country. The next concept is money market. Money market is a mechanism. This is one of the mechanism, a system we can say. The system through which short-term funds are loaned and borrowed. It designates the financial institution which handle the purchase, sale and transfer of short-term credit instruments. So commercial banks accept houses, non-banking financial institutions and the central bank or the institution catering to the requirements of short-term funds in the money market. So the money market is the mechanism for that using and utilizing or giving short-term loans. So using short-term funds and giving short-term loans. It designates financial institution. It is a financial institution which handles the purchase, sale and transfer of short-term credit instrument. Okay, this is one of the tool. Money market is one of the tool to using purchasing, sale, everything. So this is one of the commercial bank, acting as a commercial bank. The acceptance houses non-banking financial institution, and the central bank and the institution catering, the focusing the requirements of short-term funds. Okay, this is main aim of the money market. The next one is capital market. What is capital market? Capital market is a part of financial system which is concerned with raising capital by dealing in shares, bonds and other long-term investments. So they concentrating about dealing with shares, bonds and long-term investments. The market where investment instruments like bonds, equities and mortgages are traded is known as capital market. So like money market, here the long-term loan and all concerned by capital market, and they concentrating increasing the investment and the capital market using as a tool to investment and like bonds, equities and mortgage loans and all. The next concept is demonetization. What is demonetization? 1,000 and 500 rupees notes and all banned. Okay, banned in India on 8th November 2016. Demonetization is the act of stripping a currency unit of its status as a legal tender. It occurs whenever there is a change of national currency. The current form or the forms of money is pulled from circulation, often to be replaced with new coins or notes. On 8th November 2016, the Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi announced the demonetization of all the 500 and 1,000 rupees banknotes of Mahatma Gandhi series. However, more than 99% of those currencies came back to the RBI. Okay. Sudden of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced the demonetization on 8th November 2016. They may ask in your 1 mark. Okay, this is called demonetization. So all the 500 notes and 1,000 notes are withdrawn from the peoples to the RBI. Objectives of demonetization. What are the objectives of demonetization? The Narendra Modi ji announced. Removing black money from the country. This is main aim. He focused to removing black money from the country. Stopping of corruption. He aimed to stopping the corruption. This is also one of the objective. And stopping terror funds. Okay. So through the demonetization, he aimed at stopping the terror funds and curbing fake notes. Okay, capturing the fake notes. That's why he introduced the demonetization. He announced the demonetization in 8th November 2016.